Hello, Bonsai Site Forums. As per your request, here are some of my other bonsai related material that I have collected over the past season to give me a lot to work with this year. Right here is one of my larger, nicer 50 plus year old azaleas. As you can see, there's a lot of nice dead wood. As soon as it comes back into sprout, I have a couple of green leaves somewhere, or there's some, where it's been coming back. I will begin to carve on these and get these down. I'm hoping to produce really nice settings. You can see some of the natural knots that are all through here. Stupid maple seeds, sugar maples, or maybe these are big yellow maples, I don't know. Anyway, a lot of nice stuff here. We had an unusually harsh winter. We got more snow and ice than we've had in over a decade. And as you can see, it killed a lot of my nursery stock that I had purchased in the clearance season and was waiting to utilize. Here are some just hardwood cuts. These weren't on bottom heat and they were left outside. Not sure how many of them are going to be viable, but it looks like the maple's buds are still good and they are extending, so that's always a good sign. Here's some boxwood and a little Norway spruce. Some of these little cedars and stuff, in fact most of the cedars that you'll see through here I collected on my property. I have 2.5 acres out here, along with some of these little scrub pines that I'm working with. Not sure what species of tree this was. It was either one of my small-leafed oaks, or it is a variable dogwood that was naturally planted in the raft style. I believe that's a large Yapon holly that has many, many years of growth on it, and I hacked it completely down and potted it, and we'll see if that one lives. But I'm hoping it will. Here's a Nuzzler natural raft. I believe this was an elm. Let's see. As you can see, all my coral bark maples and a bloodgood. These will all be air layered. And as soon as these leaves fully spread out, and they have about a month to harden off, I will be air layering these before doing any of my trunk chops. As you can see, this one right here, about 3/4 inches, has a very natural bonsai. The internodes are already kind of close. It'll definitely need some working back, but I will be air layering right about here, and that is going to give me about 5-year jump from seed on a decent Shohin bonsai. Then if I can get 2 air layers done in one season, I will air layer the second one right here, and as you can see, that has a decent little shape and start. My coral barks generally have some nice stuff going on too. We'll see what goes on with them. Let's see what else. Here's one of my beautiful azaleas. You should just see the Nabari, but it's hard to do right now. But look at this. Oh, just natural, knotty, old holes throughout. These are just natural. You cannot just create that. And that's why I am happy to be working with these very old, very, very old azaleas. That cedar's not looking too good, but that's okay. Those other 2 cedars back there are looking fine. Let's see. Here's a little goofy attempt I did on a pot I found somewhere on clearance at some place called Ollie's out here for $7. And I don't generally do cascades. This tree needs a lot of work, but I picked it up for $3 at Home Depot, I believe. And unfortunately, the trunk's nice, but the cascade definitely needs a lot of work, and I'm waiting for a lot of this to bud back so I can take a good look at it and do a couple of cuts. This is a... What is this? This is a Cherokee Chief red dogwood. It'll have almost red flowers. Buds are just now extending, so hoping to work with that. Probably put a air layer somewhere right around here, which will allow me just to work more with the base and have two plants. Here's a nice mugo pine I've been growing. Here are a bunch of hardwood cuttings, and people are generally scared of hardwood cuttings. You can get much bigger trees started out of them, and you know, I took these pretty late in the winter. The maples aren't sprouting yet. We hope they will, but here's some cherry. All these little cherries are already budding before their parent plants. There's some locust in there too. And the funny thing about these hard cuttings is I had literally cut the cherry down weeks before. And I was going through the grass and I was going to throw it in the burn pile. When I happened to pick it up, it felt a little heavy, and so I cut back on the cambium and it was still green. So I turned that branch into 7 hardwood cuttings, and all 7 have taken root and budded. So it tells you how vigorous some trees are. Another wild collected Yapon holly. These just grow all over North Carolina, so I get them. Some of my maple seedlings coming up. Here's some of my more progressed maple seedlings, and I'm very happy to say that these came from green variety of old coral bark, and some of them are sprouting bright red, which is always neat. Maybe I'll end up being lucky and having a new cultivar. A little more detail. Here's some more of these old azaleas. This one will make a nice show hen. Maybe even be able to prune it back and make close to a mame or a mame. Here is some other nice ones. This may get some more cut back work. I'm not sure, but I really liked the trunk and the wild little just dimples and craters that are in it. So what I was thinking about doing was kind of like a twin trunk. Allow a couple of, like a triangular mass here, and then a much larger triangle mass here. And I think when the next season approaches and it comes into flower, it's going to give a remarkably dramatic effect. So we will see. Here is another azalea. You can just see some of this new growth coming in. How just gnarled and old these things look. It's something you just can't do very well without collecting it yourself and letting it to grow for many, many years. Here's a good one. Close-up view. Just the aged look of some of these. Of course, with a little carving, they're only going to get better. Look at this, just natural deadwood throughout these, and they grow like weeds. One or two might not survive, as I hadn't actually pulled them up, another gentleman had, and I found them in this front yard, and it was the dead of winter, so they kind of just got stuck in my basement with some wet sod around them. That's all I had at the moment, but it looks like 90% of them are going to be good. A little Malzai that I rescued from Walmart. For some reason they were like $8. And of course it was potted all funky, and when I pulled it out, instead of having an S-curve, it actually has a real nice branch and a secondary branch over here. So I believe with a tender loving care, not only am I going to get this awesome root on rock, this is actually a 3-piece rock set that I have going on, and it looks like a mountain, so it's going to look like an old rock, old ancient tree growing on that. Here's one of my little bonsai from last year, another little Malzai or from this year that I had rescued and had good branch structure in a couple places. Looks like one of those old wisdom trees. So working on this, and I potted it and did some stuff, and I will continue to grow it in there. All right, thanks for looking.